there. Okay, another impromptu. If you've watched me for a while, you know that I'll be watching, catching up on news, and not with mainstream. Like my hair is all fuzzy. It's overcast and rainy for a second in a row. Anyway, so I stream. So I'm watching on here on YouTube. Getting my information from the last whatever, and I'm seeing a lot of things that just set me off. Just I'm like, oh no, and then I see something else on the same topic from another place, and I'm like, oh hell no, oh hell no, and then if I see it a third time, I'm like, okay, that's it. I got to get on camera, and it's sad. It's sad. Um, you're hearing a lot of the Republicans getting this faux outrage, this fake pissed off, on different angles of it, but it's about we got to get these borders closed. I just want to remind everybody because they're coming from all candidates, all sides, and not just MAGA, but Republicans and things like that in general about the border, the border, the border. Damn Joe Biden because the border. I just want to remind you again, wasn't it just a few months back that Democrats and non MAGA Republicans got together on probably the harshest border bill that we may have ever seen. And what did Republicans do? Oh, yes. The cult leader of Orange said publicly, blame me because I'm telling you, do not vote, kill the border deal. Why did he want the border bill deal killed and not passed? Because he wants to run on it. Why is that so important? Why can't he run on some other stuff? That's all they have. That's all they have. That is really all they have, that the majority of Americans agree that something has to be done. There has to be some sort of reordering here because it's getting oppressive. We can't handle it. And if you overrun your host country, not only can't they help you anymore, but they can't even help themselves and the ones that are here anymore. So it is important to let the countries that are allowing immigration and people to run to their countries for safety and such from their own countries, you gotta let them fill up themselves. You can't pour from an empty vessel. However, we were ready to do it, and Trump said kill it, and everybody, all the MAGAs said, well, we're the ones saying we need it. What happens if we kill it? And what did he say? Blame me. He said blame Trump. But they're not doing that, are they? They're blaming Democrats. So keep that in mind. Trump specifically said blame him. Blame Trump, Donald Trump, for the border bill not going through. So I blame Trump, but I also blame the weak, spineless little cultists in MAGA, MAGA House members who just listen to him and they don't care if it makes sense, and they only care about their own salvaging in their jobs when it becomes oppressively apparent that they're in trouble, like Bober. And then she carpetbagged it over to another district and such. But they will, until they feel that spark of self preservation, they will totally kowtow to Donald. He said blame it on him, knowing damn well that his followers, his cultists, would not blame it on him. That was his code word. Blame it on me. This code word for blame it on the Democrats. Just keep blaming it on the Democrats. No matter what you're asked, blame it or turn it around to the Democrats. No matter what they, if you listen, they're trying, a lot of them they'll shift the original question that they're asked, and they'll talk enough to shift it and morph it into another issue and then point at the Democrats. Because they know, everybody knows that the Democrats came up with the thing, with the bill. They just shot it down, and they're the ones I've been screaming for how many years now? So, I just want to keep reminding you, we're 6 months from the election. I go to my election class training. Yes, I do. I told you I'm working. I don't know what polling place I'm working at, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get there at 6 in the morning when I don't have my own vehicle. Hoping the mass system might be willing to open early and get me there since I'm working for the polls. It's not a personal reason. I'm going to approach them once I get through the class and ask them would they be willing to do that, pick me up, and then get my rear end home. But I could probably catch a ride with somebody who works there. It's the first time I'm working in Jersey, so I haven't built up any kind of rapport or relationship with anybody else who's working, or the election, the county clerk's office at all. Like I did with after a couple of elections that I worked in Arizona, in Tucson, when I lived out there. So I go to that, and from what I was told, Jersey is introducing a I think they said, like, they called it electronic or digital. I forget how they phrased it, but it's a different system. It's a different voting procedure now. And so it'll be interesting. I was like, great. I just got used to the procedure you used here as opposed to what we were using in Tucson the last time I worked the elections. So just a heads up for anybody in Jersey, it's probably going to be a new procedure. So if you're doing it like before work or like on the way to something, make sure you give yourself a few extra minutes because you're not going to be able to just run in there and do it like you know. You're going to have to like read and just do a quick little learning. It's not like it's going to take a huge amount of time. You just remember it. You're going to have to read something and like make sense of it. But yeah, I'm hoping we don't have a lot of problems at whatever polling place I'm working at, because I'm about 30 minutes from Bedminster, which is one of the cult leaders' golf courses in Jersey here. There wasn't anything big time happening when I voted the last time, but of course that wasn't a presidential election. So the last time we had voting here it was a couple years ago. It was for like local things. So I did not work the last presidential election, so I'm a little hesitant about. Hopefully there won't be any issues at the polls this year, but I highly doubt that. Some polls are going to have Republican watchers going in. Who knows, a freaking crazy pillow dude. I know his name. It's just, if Pillow, that's what David Pakman calls him. So if Pillow does his little drone thing. So just saying. And the only people that should be at the polls are the people waiting in line to vote because it is their precinct. And it's not like if you're waiting in line because you're a watcher, you're acting like you're a voter. They get out of line when they get close to the front. If anybody does that and then just kind of acts like they just left for voting, I report them. Say something when you get up to somebody at the table. Just say, I watched that person. Went in line until it got close, and then they kind of stepped out like they were watching it. You just mention it. Because the only people that are allowed there are people that the county clerk's office of elections has given authorization to be there, which is the people that live in that precinct or vote in that precinct. Because some people may have moved right before and they're still voting, they're still registered at their old precinct, so they go back to that precinct for the last time, even though they moved out of it. That's a possibility. They didn't get it changed in time for it to be on the polls. And that would be a questionable ballot, which just means they have to make sure. I think it's called to be verified, a verified ballot. They have different lingo for different states and stuff, but the procedure is the same. And to be verified ballot, I think they changed it to be verified as opposed to question ballot, because people got with that, the terminology made it sound like, are you allowed to vote, and people didn't like that. So it was like, no, we're not questioning it, we're just verifying that you didn't vote in your new precinct, in your new district. That's all that is. It's just verifying that you're not voting twice, that you voted in. They do the same thing for mail-in ballots. Let's say you ordered a mail-in ballot but you never got it, or you got it and then you realize that you can actually, maybe you're taking somebody else to go voting on election day, so you're going to just vote there or something like that. And you didn't. If you decide to do that, bring your mail-in ballot that you did not vote with you, hand it in. If you threw it out or you didn't bring it with you, that's fine too. They just have to fill a different form out. But the easiest way is if you ordered a mail-in ballot and you didn't vote it, just bring it with you. Don't throw it out. Because that way they can put it in there and say, no, see, they didn't vote that district because look, it's right here. Here it is, see? Right there. See their name on it? So, and they'll, oh yes, okay, so we sent it, yes, but they received it, did they vote it? Nope. Do you have it in your possession? Yep. And if they say nope, then do you have this form filled out? That's all. It just takes a little time. So don't get all freaked if they use a certain terminology or something to another worker. But if there will be some watchers they have done in the past, but anybody official should have a lanyard, a badge, and a letter, and it has to be from the county clerk's, the county clerk, board of elections. If it's from the RNC, if it's from whatever, some state other thing, no. Sorry. What you would do is when they go to class, on election day, they have all the materials for the inspector who's in charge. They'll have a list of emergency election numbers, because the elections, you need to get in touch with the people that are doing the working, not the people that are the public calling in. So they'll give you numbers that you need to call if you have a problem with a machine. There's one number. For the techs to come. If there's a problem with a person, they've got like legal, uh, like off-duty cops that are working that to come. So you got to kind of so you have the right number. But yeah, they will call who's in charge of running the elections and let them know, and they will send somebody to intercept the person. They'll come to the polling place. And if they're still there, you point them out, and those people are legally allowed to question them. And if they don't have legitimate, election county clerk board of election authorization, they will remove them. You'll always be able to call 9112. Just let them know you're at a polling place. You're a worker at the polling place, and there's somebody causing a disturbance. We need immediate help. Trust me, especially in certain places where they know there's heavy MAGA activity and things like that. I'm sure around DC, certain other places. I'm not sure if Bedminster really qualifies as the areas around that or not. I don't know. I know Florida would be a hot spot. Yeah, but I'm not really sure about here. But you never know. You never know. So, anyway, do not believe any of the MAGAs, any of the Republicans. You're hearing Marjorie say it. You're hearing Marjorie KK Green, Lori, Little Boper. You've been hearing her, little carpetbagger, yapping about the border. You're hearing all of these people yapping about the border because they're trying to distract you from the fact that they're worth squat. They've done squat. They're worthless. And they're children. They're like children. I've seen high schoolers. I can't even say a high school president, because class president, because they don't even act like high schoolers. These people are acting like middle schoolers, for real, And it's sad and it's pathetic, but what's really bad is the people that believe that shit are just reaffirming that. They're confirming I see I'm right. And the people that are like, is that real? Is that not real? It's just if they hear it from a few different people, they're going to think, oh yeah, it's the Democrats' fault for the border. It's not. It's the Republicans' fault for listening to Trump when Trump said to blame him and just kill it and blame him. So if you want to blame anybody, you blame the House Republicans, okay? And then you blame Trump. Very simple. And please do not listen to all their crying and their on the steps. They love to get interviews on steps. Do you know why? Because if you ever notice, more often than not, the person being interviewed is the one up on the stairs. So they wait till they follow them up just a little bit, and then they turn around so they can be looking down on the reporters, okay? If you didn't realize that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. They run in like almost late up the stairs. We won't mention anybody's name, Green, Boebert, and then they stop. They run right past them at the base of the stairs, and they start running up the stairs, and they get up half a dozen steps, one ground, one level, just enough so everybody else comes up the stairs with their microphones all like this, and then they get that lovely video, of some people reaching up to them. What's the imagery? You never see people reaching down to interview the candidate, do you? No. No, because that would look bad to them. The visual looks bad, looking down to them. So they always have this, but they always have their secondary persons coming up behind with their still cameras, and so they get the picture of them presiding over a sea of microphones. Believe me, they plan that. They plan where to lead the microphones and the people, the press. They plan this. Please. It is so a red carpet Met Gala crap. They plan every little move of their entrances, some of these people. I mean, people like Kitty Porter, no. You catch something, that's for real. The others, they do the opportunistic photo op type of thing. They look at the optics. And that's all that matters, because the optics are what catch you first if you're not blind. The optics catch you first. Then you tune in with the ears, most people. And they know that. So do not fall into the trap of, yeah, those damn Republicans. They always shoot down those border bills. They want you to forget this last fiasco of theirs, where they listen to their cult leader, and yet knowing he won't get the blame by them. Blame Trump. Blame the Republicans, because they listen to somebody who's not even in any type of office whatsoever. He's a has-been. He's a used to be the president. Why do you still listen to somebody who used to be something? You know, it's like Dr. Oz. Well, yeah, great. He used to be a heart surgeon that was excellent. That doesn't mean he's excellent at anything else at all. Except that. And even at some point in people's careers, they are not the best anymore. It happens. Younger people come up, you start losing some stability, happens as you get older. You're not quite as focused as maybe somebody 2-3 decades younger than you. But when you're in some positions and you have that arrogance that you think you're as good as you were 40 years ago, knowledge-wise maybe, but memory, reflex, all that stuff hinders as you get old, no matter how gracefully you grow old. Trust me, even the people that you see all spry, the public figures doing their dance or whatever, they're probably icing their feet up for like 6 hours late all night long. Okay? Being brought something to eat or drink because their feet are up or whatever they do. They don't just gracefully do that and then have trust me. Most of them have counteractive measures afterwards. You don't see that afterwards. You don't see the ballet dancer's feet when she takes her shoes off. Trust me, it's not the beauty you think it is. It's not the beauty that it portrays. So, just remember, the people responsible for the border bill being killed, number one, House Republicans. The second person or responsible entity, Donald Trump. Those are the two. House Republicans, Donald Trump, border wall killed. That's all you need to know.